Hey, Viking fans, it's my first apology video of 2024 in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, leave a comment. But again, leave a comment. I want to hear what you got to say about the Minnesota Vikings, who they should draft. Tell me what you think about the guy I'm about to talk about. My first apology video of 2024 is to a guy not even on the team and just got done playing the Senior Bowl. A guy that jumped up the boards more than anybody after the Senior Bowl, and that is Spencer Rattler from the Gamecocks, University of South Carolina. I actually did site support for these dudes back when Lou Holtz was a coach for Daktronics out of South Dakota, and I was there to watch Troy Williamson in all his glory, and then get drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, be the biggest bomb in the history of the Minnesota Vikings draft. Troy Williamson, God bless you, man. He's a good dude, but I could have told the front office of Minnesota Vikings that he had stone hands. I could have told him that. He was fast as hell, but hey, I saw it in person, man, every game, at least every home game. Now, I'm looking at Spencer Rattler here, and I even saw Rick Spielman praising this guy in practice, but say, hey, hold your horses. Hold your horses. All right. He goes on to win the Senior Bowl MVP. Who else has won the Senior Bowl MVP that the Vikings have drafted? And that is Kellen Mond and Christian Ponder, both Senior Bowl MVPs. Are we going to draft Spencer Rattler? I just want to talk about him, and I'm going to apologize because I didn't even have this guy in the mix at all to get drafted. At least in the top, 5 rounds, top 6 rounds. I thought he was like an afterthought. They would, UDFA candidate. But I saw people talking about him, and then I heard the buzz about the Senior Bowl practices. And I heard Rick Spielman talk about him on the 33rd team. And then I saw his every throw and run of the Senior Bowl. And I decided to do a deep dive into him. And this guy was the number 1 quarterback coming out of college. He was a 5-star recruit, or coming out of high school. He was a 5-star recruit. He won the Elite 11 competition. He threw for 11,000 yards in his high school career. He threw for 4,595 yards and 40 touchdowns 3 seasons at Oklahoma before transferring. The guy that he lost his job to, Caleb Williams. The best prospect in the draft this year. I like Jaden Daniels more for us. Caleb Williams is the best talent probably in the draft, I think. But I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan. We won't get a chance to draft Caleb Williams anyway, so no worries there. But I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan. But Spencer Rattler got replaced by Caleb Williams. Then their coach Riley goes to USC, and Caleb Williams follows him to USC. That's how that happened. But at Oklahoma, he had a awesome redshirt year. He was behind Jalen Hurts as a freshman, a true freshman. Came out redshirt freshman year and was the talk of the town, and was the front runner for one of the front runners for the Heisman Trophy going into his redshirt sophomore year, and was terrible according to Oklahoma standards. Turnovers, careless fumbles. I went and looked back at tape of that year and why he lost his job. He was missing wide open dudes and then running with it instead. He wouldn't throw it, and he would run with it, and then he wouldn't throw it. Then he would run with it, and then throw to the same guy that was supposed to be open. I mean, it was a mess. It was a mess. So no apologies there. You lost your job fairly and squarely to Caleb Williams. It was a Red River shootout game, I believe, against Texas, and Caleb Williams took him back and won the game. So Caleb Williams, obviously better talent than Spencer Rattler, but I want to talk about the things that are good about him. Here is a 68.9, 8.0 average. This is lower than all the top 5, top 6 candidates. 3,186 yards, 19 and 8. They only won 5 games. They won 8 games as second to last year. He has great arm talent. He has great arm talent, and he can throw on the run. I do think he's got good mechanics. In the areas where he improved on from when he got benched at Oklahoma into now is that he has a quick, like there was he wouldn't throw it to the swing running back accurately. He wouldn't throw it fast. He was late, things like that. That stuff he's improved on. You go look at the College Bowl tape, and he's delivering the ball quick, accurately. I'm going to say this is a guy that can make every throw. He's 6'1", though. She's not the tallest guy. So there's going to be limitations, guys in his face. Things are going to be a little rougher for a guy that's, I want to say, below 6'3", but at 6'1", he's not short by any means, but not ideal. He's over 210 pounds, so he's not a rail thin like a JJ McCarthy. Is a little on the light side. This guy physically shorter than JJ McCarthy and thicker than JJ McCarthy. They both probably have the same mobility, running ability. I think this guy's a little tougher to bring down, let's say. He showed that repeatedly. But mobility, accuracy on the run, he can make every throw. He's got a strong arm. He has now showed that he can come into a situation, learn the offense, and throw to guys accurately and be successful in a new situation. And that goes a long way. Now, here are some issues. He was like a Netflix documentary when he was in high school, and he talked shit about his teammates once, and Netflix didn't do him any favors. There was grumblings about his attitude, how overly cocky he is. This guy is Baker Mayfield light a little bit. And so I felt based on like an interview, he just lost us to Clemson. They play the last game of the year, rivalry week. I was living in South Carolina. I kind of experienced what that's like. The Gamecocks scored the only touchdown in the game, and they lost 16-7. And he was like really kind of devastated that they lost. He took the blame on himself. So maturity has seemed to creeped into his repertoire, and I think losing does. But this is not something that's going to advance your cause that you were only on 5 games your last year. Which would be the equivalent of Jay Cutler back in the day not having a winning season in college. Well, he had a winning season. He played at a high level at Oklahoma. His first year starting, amazing year for a guy that young. Came out, had all the highest expectations, and boom. Kind of like the program. I don't know if you've ever seen the program. The guy was going to win the Heisman Trophy, and they came out and they barely made a bowl game, right? By the end of the year, going through all these troubles. That was kind of his season. The funny thing is that movie was filmed at the Gamecock Stadium. So if you watch the program, that's where Spencer Rattler played. I forget the name. William Bright. I don't know. I forget the name of the stadium, but that's where Spencer Rattler played. Is the same stadium as the program. Now in the program, player comes out. He's going to play against Michigan. He loses to Michigan, and that was supposed to be the 2 guys for the Heisman. Then he goes into a little bit of drug problem, whatever. He ends up coming back on the team, wins the game at the end of the year. Well, Spencer Rattler kind of experienced that his second year, not drug problems, but that expectation, and then boom, he loses his job, right? So he transfers to South Carolina. His coach ends up leaving Oklahoma anyways, takes Caleb Williams with him. He's now at South Carolina. He raves about his coaches. He talks about how they helped him as a person. He's in a different place kind of thing. This is the kind of good, and he volunteered that information. He volunteered that information. He didn't have to be asked about it or anything like that. So I think the maturity level has increased. Now, my apology comes is that I didn't think anything of him, and I do. Now I can see this guy creeping up into the. I want to say he's based on what I saw and his inconsistency, but the fact that the talent is there, he is borderline fourth, fifth round. He's in that fourth, fifth round type of player because the arm talent's there and the mobility's there. He has shown that he could learn things quick and play at a high level but it was a senior bowl. But the full body of work, the full body of work through college, the inconsistency, the losing the job. I do like that he overcame obstacles. That's the things I like about Jaden Daniels. That's the things I like about Penix is that overcoming that obstacle, finishing out at a high level. This guy did not finish out at a high level. Didn't do it, but all the talent in the world. Now, whether or not he can throw it with anticipation is still fuzzy. The fact, that's big. Reading the defenses, making the right reads, delivering the ball on time, and throwing with anticipation. That's why this guy does not make a good fit for Kevin O'Connell. Does not make a good fit. He's going to be looking for that throwing with anticipation, reading the field, throwing the ball on time. He's going to look for that, and he's not going to see that a lot consistently with this guy. And the personality may come out, his old personality may come out, and it may not rub. It may rub Kwesi, it may rub Kevin O'Connell the wrong way. That's why I don't think this guy is going to be on our radar whatsoever. But I want to apologize. This guy has talent. He is going to get drafted. I wouldn't draft him higher than the fifth round if I was looking. I think he's gonna be a backup in this league, talent wise, for a long time. I do. I don't think this. I'd be surprised if he gets a start. Now, hey, just a footnote on that Elite 11. The guys he beat out: Sam Howell, Bo Nix, and Jaden Daniels. The Elite 11 competition, he beat out Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and Sam Howell. All guys I liked. Sam Howell, I liked him. I thought he would be a good backup for Kirk Cousins if he drafted him. Bo Nix, I am higher than most on. He did not outperform Spencer Rattler at all, and they basically made him throw dump-off passes the whole game. The one time he did throw a deep ball, accurate. Guy pulled down on a flea flicker play, tight coverage, drops it in the bucket. The defender rips down the guy's arm. He doesn't catch it. So that's the only Bo Nix throw that was down the field. But he threw a touchdown pass to the Gopher tight end. I'll do video on that. I'm not gonna knock anything off of the Senior Bowl on Bo Nix. They really didn't do him any help by just giving him these dump off passes. And when he did throw it deep, it was accurate as hell, man. But geez, he outperforms Jaden Daniels. Now I go look at the videos of high school of Spencer Rattler, and I think Jaden Daniels knocks him out of the park. When I go look at that, and Jaden Daniels, I think, was a 4-star recruit. Spencer Rattler was a 5-star and the number 1 recruit our number one quarterback coming out of college. But Jaden Daniels heads and tails above Spencer Rattler, obviously. Now, make sure you hit subscribe, like, leave a comment. That's my apology, my first apology video 2024. Kind of haphazardly. I still don't think he's a good fit for the Vikings. I still think he's a late round pick, a day 3 pick, but Skull Vikings. Cue the music.